stories in the news that are a great concern to us, and I'm sure they are to you as well. And by the way, we link to all of the stories today in the news and in the conversations that are show notes over at thestationofthecross.com/ACT. But just this week, Shanghai Bishop Shin Ben showed up to the Vatican. Kind of a big deal, actually. And we want to know why it's such a big deal. So we have invited Pius, who runs the channel Friends of Cardinal Zen, onto the program. A born and raised Chinese Catholic fighting for freedom for the Catholics in China and freedom for the Chinese citizens against the communist regime. He joins us now. Good morning to you, Pius.
Good morning, Joe.
We're going to be linking to your YouTube channel today, Friends of Cardinal Zen. Encourage everyone to check it out and to subscribe and to support his work. But Pius, thank you for your time. Let's get into this. Who is Bishop Shin Ben, and why is it kind of a big deal that he has shown up to the Vatican?
He was so-called Bishop Shin. He is the head of the illegal so-called Bishops' Conference of China. And I watch his website, his activities now in Shanghai Diocese, and everything he does, all the activities there, all the promotions there, propaganda, it's all about the CCP control and direction of that diocese. And it's really unprecedented that the Vatican today, it's unbelievable that they even get the biggest fish to Rome, and it's him, the so-called Bishop Shin. Well, he's a valid bishop, recognized by both by Beijing and Rome.
So the Vatican-China deal, which has been very cryptic, nobody really knows what's in the deal. We can only speculate. If I'm not mistaken, later this year, that deal is about to be renewed, and if I'm also not mistaken, definitively renewed. And the CCP is basically appointed Bishop Shin despite the fact that there was already a bishop of Shanghai. Who was the bishop that he is replacing? He's still around, isn't he?
Well, thank you, Joe. I just want to cry right now. That bishop, that's the right bishop, 2012. So 12 years ago, that Bishop Ma Daqing, at his ordination, his consecration ceremony at the Cathedral of Shanghai, he just announced to the over 1,000 people there. He said, from today on, I will resign from the Patriotic Association. From that moment on, from that moment on, he was house arrested until today. 12 years, Shanghai Diocese has been punished and almost crippled by the regime as a punishment for his disobedience. So now, I think it's last year, Bishop Shin was unilaterally installed by force to Shanghai Diocese to officially replace and humiliate Bishop Ma. So
wow. So help me understand the Patriotic Association versus the average Catholic, the above ground church versus the underground church. What are the relationships between these two groups? Do they get along? Do they cooperate? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Help me understand.
Since communists took over China in 1949, at that time, the first Chinese national bishop of Shanghai Diocese is Cardinal Kang, K-U-N-G. That's the internationally well-known heroic martyr, Cardinal Kang, at that time. So Cardinal Kang led the church that refused to submit to the patriotic, state-controlled CCP church. So till today, the underground in China still refuse to submit to CCP control. But that number is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and it's pushed to extinction thanks to the Vatican CCP secret. I call that secret deal or complicity. So now the Patriotic Church, like the most symbolized by the Shanghai Diocese by Bishop Shen, they are fully cooperating with the CCP ideologies and the so-called sinicization. So it's a great chaos and division between the two groups, the underground and the CCP Church. Tragic.
It does feel very tragic because we wonder, like, what does this mean for the lay faithful that are in China trying to be faithful and under the guise and under the boot of the Communist Party, which imprisons people quite often, right? Am I not mistaken? There's quite a number of Catholics in prison in China these days.
Thank you, Jeff, for bringing this at this right juncture. This in the face of the most recent the high-level meeting, right, between Rome and the Bishop Shen, and also almost at the same time, there are new numbers, several priests being disappeared in Baoding Diocese, and there are currently disappearance and jail and house arrest of quite a few underground bishops and priests. The hardcore underground faithful now, they have long time cannot go to church to worship, and even those years cannot worship at home. So most of the hardcore underground